Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, please email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line straight to me for your questions about this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. My email address is tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today we're discussing a 100-piece limited edition launched in 2012, 41.9 millimeters in platinum. This is the Lange Sohne Lange Tourbillon Perpetual Calendar. So it's just under 42 millimeters in diameter at 41.9 and 12.7 millimeters thick, 50 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip, and it has a rather broad furlonga, 22 millimeter spacing between the lugs. We'll zoom out a little bit, take a look at the watch on my wrist. My wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference, and you can see this is a good fit. The watch is broad, but not excessively so. I could recommend it for a wrist as small as 15 centimeters in circumference, and though it's fairly thick for a dress watch, it's still objectively pretty thin at under 13 millimeters, with a domed bezel that will allow it to slide underneath dress cuffs. One more look down the barrel, as I like to say. Then we'll take a look at the hardware and the software. The strap is large rectangular scale alligator leather, monotone stitch, folded edge, a little bit of bolstering to add thickness, and then the underside you can see is calf skin, and this is a brand new Lange Sohne factory strap, black on black. A pin buckle, as you can see, in platinum to match. It features a faceting externally with polish externally, and then two well thought out features. One is this raised bridge that allows the strap to sit inside the buckle rather than stacking up underneath when it's on your wrist. And then there's this little retaining bar that allows you to use the smallest hole or even puncture a smaller hole and really strap it down tight on a small wrist and not worry about getting stuck. So that little bar helps you to remove the watch when it's tightly strapped down on your wrist. The case is simple, as many Lange cases are, round with a domed bezel, a satin finished mid-case, polished bezel and case back. You can see the case back is somewhat retrenched from the flank to make it look thinner on the wrist. As with most Lange cases, the lugs are stepped out separate from the case band, and then you have a simple Lange branded crown, many pusher adjusters to adjust the calendar system, and the watch features a dial that's more gray than silver. I don't know how that comes across on camera, but this really isn't a silver dial. This is very much a gray dial, and it is galvanized gray on top of sterling silver. So the dial itself is made of precious metal, AG 925 sterling silver. The moon phase is made of solid white gold, and those are two distinctive features of Lange watches: silver dials and solid gold moon phase discs. Hands, indices, numerals, all of those also in white gold. We have a perpetual calendar here. As you can see, we have a double-digit date, we have the day of the week, we have the moon phase, which has an adjustment interval of 122 years. Of course, we have a little indicator for the month, and it rotates radially around the dial with the index at 6 o'clock, plus a little leap year phase indicator. As you can see, the watch does feature a hacking or stop seconds function, and you know where you are in the 24-hour cycle for the purposes of setting the calendar safely, because you have a little AM/PM indicator down on the primary dial. Flip it all over, and there's quite a bit going on the backside. Now, as you may notice, it has 75 synthetic rubies, but one real diamond. And you can see that diamond is the capstone underneath the carriage for the tourbillon. This is caliper L0821, automatic winding with a 50-hour power reserve. It's adjusted in 5 positions. It beats away at 21,600 vibrations per hour. And the reason I call out the hacking seconds function is because this is a rare hacking seconds tourbillon. It's also free sprung with an overcoil hairspring to keep good time in any position. And you can see that it features a rotor that is actually 21 karat gold attached to a mass that is made of platinum, double precious metal rotor. You can see there are 4 separate finishes on the rotor itself, and then we have little fired blued screws that are used to attach the mass to the rotor, and then polished pins that are used to attach the rotor to the inner arc of the assemblies. You can actually see this is 3-piece. 1, then the center is 2, and then innermost is 3, and at the center of the rotor on the bearing is black polished. We have jewels set in chaton, golden chaton cups held in place by fired blue screws, just as it would have been in the pocket watch era of a Lange Sohne. The movement's made of nickel, copper, zinc, often called German silver, with the copper giving it that golden hue. We have both large and medium engine turning, so 2 different sizes of perlage, freehand engraving, on the structures underpinning and adjacent to the tourbillon. You'll appreciate that though there are few bridges, they have beautiful mirrored anglage, the true rounded mirrored anglage on their edges, and then there's satination on all of the wheels, and you can see these lovely spiral spoke pocket watch style wheels are used to drive the tourbillon at the terminal end of the drivetrain. There's just a lot to love here. We have black polished and blued screws. And as you can see, we have wonderful three-quarter style bridge architecture, although you can see the bridges are actually broken up, so it looks like a pocket watch three-quarter, but they can be removed individually to aid service down the road. All of this, of course, water resistant down to 30 meters, and you can see this one is my lucky number, 11 of 100. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.